Picture this. In just one afternoon, tariffs on Chinese goods plunge from 145% all the way down to 30%. But here's the catch. There's a 90-day window before the next decision. What's at stake when that countdown ends?
Today's date is 2025-5/16. Let's get everyone on the same page. The U.S. just made a big move, slashing tariffs on Chinese imports from 145% to 30%. There's also a temporary 10% tariff in place for the next 90 days. That's a major change. Why now?
The main reason was mounting economic pressure. Both the U.S. and China were starting to feel the strain, and global markets were sounding alarms. By lowering tariffs, they're trying to stop things from getting worse and buy time for negotiators. But is this just a breather, or could it lead to something bigger?
Right, and the agreement isn't just about tariffs. It also pauses non-tariff countermeasures, so things like import quotas and special licensing are on hold too, correct?
That's right. Non-tariff measures can be just as tough as tariffs themselves. By freezing both, the two sides are showing they're serious about talking. But it's only for 90 days. If there's no deal, tariffs come back fast.
Markets jumped on the news. U.S. stock indices have their best day in weeks. But what about regular people? Any idea how this affects households?
According to the Yale Budget Lab, rolling back these tariffs cuts the average extra cost per American household by more than $2,000. That's immediate relief on lots of goods, electronics, clothing, you name it. But even with the cuts, families are still facing a nearly 18% effective tariff rate.
So it helps, but doesn't wipe out the problem. The relief is real, but it's not a full reset. Any broader figures on how this shifts the bigger economic picture?
Yes, that same study estimates the move reduces the negative economic impact of all 2025 tariffs by around 40%. It's a big improvement, but businesses and consumers still feel some pressure.
And globally, the U.S. and China set the tone for world trade. When they shift, everyone else feels it.
Absolutely. Easing the tension here lowers the risk of a global downturn and calms international markets. Other countries are watching closely. Maybe this process could guide their own trade talks.
It's possible the approach, pause tariffs, negotiate under a deadline, could be a model elsewhere. But does it actually mean fewer trade disputes overall?
Maybe not fewer disputes, but probably less chaos. This deal shows that even stubborn conflicts can be managed by giving both sides a set period to work things out.
But there's a risk. What if the 90 days run out and there's no agreement? Do tariffs snap back? And do markets react badly again?
Exactly. That's the edge everyone's watching. If negotiations fail, tariffs return and volatility could spike. The next 3 months are going to be crucial.
So, in summary, major tariff cuts, a 90-day window for talks, quick economic relief, but a lot depends on what happens next.
That sums it up well. We're in a holding pattern. Markets are hopeful, families get a bit of relief, but the core issues are still waiting for real answers.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll keep following the story as these negotiations continue. Will this be a turning point or just a brief pause? Stay with us.
Thanks for listening. Watch those 90-day clocks, and we'll be back soon to break down what happens next.